Yo, what is going on, everybody? Episode 127 of many. The Grizzly Life podcast has now been going for, since February of 2025. So again, thank you to all who has listened since day one, or maybe if this is your first episode, thank you guys for tuning in. The only way we can grow this podcast and reach more people and get more random messages out there, as I like to call them, is by you guys sharing them and letting people know this is a good episode, or this episode had something funny in it this time or that time. So I do rely on you guys who are the day one listeners and who listen to it to encourage others to listen to, one or two messages here and there. I know maybe not every episode is cut out for, that person you're trying to share the episodes with or whatever, but if there's an important message that you think somebody can get some value from, please share it and let them know and have them tune in as well. So without further ado, today's message, we're going to keep it short and sweet again for you. The unexpected curveball, right? We all deal with this probably on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, depending on how you look at life, right? There's always unexpected curveballs every day, but that's just part of life. I'm talking about I would have never guessed this would have happened today. The attitude a lot of people have, why me, or why do I have to deal with this shit, right? Like, I've mentioned in the past this important mindset that I think if you can grasp it, if you can say it, if you can repeat it, I think you will be on to bigger and better things. You won't hold on to stress so much. It can always be worse. Very simple. It could always be worse. Whatever situation you're dealing with, whatever's going on, it could always be worse. Like, find a more worse, like, if you're in this situation, find a more worst case scenario, or a worse scenario than I don't know what I'm trying to say. Find a scenario that is worse. I cannot talk. Find something that is tougher, harder, less ideal than the situation you're currently in. You run out of gas. I always use the example, you get a flat tire, this or that, right? Plumbing issue. Think of a situation that might be more hard on you than that situation, and realize, it could be worse. Somebody else has got it worse out there, So I think as you grew up, and eating food, right? And maybe if your parents would use the term, you better eat everything on the plate, trying to get you to eat as a little kid, right? And maybe they'd always use that term. There's people out there who don't get to eat every, whatever, right? Or so often, or there's people who don't have the fortunes that you maybe have growing up, right? So same situation, same theory there. You could have it worse. And so the reason I bring this up, the story, Sunday, I'll actually back up. I'll give you some context here. I haven't been drinking the last couple of weeks. We decided to go on basically a 4-week sobriety, focus up on recovery and sleep and fitness and getting up early and keeping a really good sleep routine, right? All the things that I always tell you guys are all very important. I'm guilty. I like to have my beers on the weekends. I like to, I'm more drink early afternoon and finish early. So I've got enough hours. Like, that's my motto when it comes to drinking. I like to drink early, or, do the things that aren't ideal for me earlier, so I have plenty of hours to calm down and relax before I go to bed. I really don't like screwing up my sleep routine. I think that is one of the most important things that is so underrated and nobody even understands. You need a good sleep routine. So anyways, not the point here. I'm not drinking for 4 weeks. And for those of you who like to have some beers, you kind of think in life, wow, how can I have fun? How can I, everybody, the people who do drink probably think the drinking, the buzz gives you a more amplified feeling and everything's more fun, and you like to sing a little bit more, you like to, do things you maybe wouldn't do when you're sober, right? So the reason I bring this up is Sunday, it's Mother's Day, the restaurant's absolutely packed, there's just people nonstop, there's people, we ran out of space in the restaurant, people are getting seated in the bar, we've got people waiting outside the door, it was amazing. I loved every second of it. The chaos was great. It was a fun day. So, the dishwasher decides to break. Mid all of this. I come back about noon or something like that. I can't remember exact time. And I walk in, I'm like, what is that smell? And our dishwasher runs one more load, and sure enough, dishwasher doesn't start anymore. And it was definitely a burning up, motor-y, some kind of smell that just something burnt up in the unit of some sort. So now we've got no dishwasher. We've got like 10 bus tubs full of like stuff that needs to be washed. And mind you, I do not have a background in being a busser or a dishwasher. Like that is never anything that I've ever done. Not anything that I really ever imagined that I would necessarily do, but I don't believe that I'm above anything. I'm willing to help out where needed. So it's Sunday. All our mothers are coming in, having a great time. We're trying to offer a great experience, and we're running out of silverware. We're running out of plates. We're running out of cups. We're like, well, what do we do? And so myself, Amber, G, and Lenny, we say, you know what? We got to figure this out. So we start scrubbing plates, and actually we have a new bar dishwasher, just a little simple one tray, gets the job done. So now I'm helping separate things where we have, I'm throwing everything off these plates. I'm taking all the napkins off, and the worst thing, soggy bread. That one made me gag a little bit. Soggy bread. That one, I don't know how Joey Chestnut, the hot dogs, and they dipped that was disgusting. Anyways, so I'm helping separate silverware and plates and cups, and like helping Lenny spray everything off because our faucet still worked over there, so we could still hand scrub and do all that. And so we're loading one tray at a time. We're running it back to the bar dishwasher. We're putting it in there, and as soon as it's done, we come out. We're hand drying everything, getting it out back into use ASAP. And so again, my story here, I don't have to tell you any more about it, but never would have I guessed that was the curveball that I was going to be thrown to and have to handle on Sunday. And the reason I brought up alcohol, I made this comment as I'm doing this. I'm like, who knew all we had to do to have some fun in life was have our dishwasher break, so we all had to like do this together and like laugh about it, right? I'm playing some fun music in the kitchen, and like we're just living life, and we're just again handling the curveball the best we can. And to me, that was a lot of fun. And even though it sucked in quotations, it wasn't ideal. It wasn't again the curveball that we had expected to deal with. I enjoyed every second of it. I was laughing the entire time. I was making jokes with Lenny. Amber, G, and I were having a good time. Like, we just lived. And so I have the mentality it could always be worse. Something else could be worse in this situation, and I just have to handle it. I just have to deal with it and move on. So I think if you can frame your mind to say, I'm ready for the worst today, but I'm hoping for the best, right? Like, I'm prepared to handle whatever life throws at me, but I'm also hoping to have the best day ever. And you wake up, that's your mentality, that's your take on life, you're going to be much better off than being surprised every time something goes wrong in your life, every time something doesn't go the way you wanted it to, every time you're thrown into a situation again that you didn't want to deal with. So consider this when you wake up and roll out of bed, that I'm going to make it a great day, and I'm going to do everything I can to make it a great day. And whatever life throws at me, I'm going to handle it with ease, and I'm going to take care of it, and we're going to do great things, right? So it could always be worse. Keep that mindset at hand. It could always be worse. You could always be doing something that you don't want to do even, right? Like, I think that's very important. Now, something else. I just watched a video on, just a little, short, 30-second video. The professor is standing in front of the class and pours some water in a glass and asks everybody in the class, how much do you think this glass weighs? And one student goes, I think 8 ounces. And the other student goes, I don't know, maybe 12 ounces, right? And the professor goes, the absolute weight does not matter of this cup of water. And mind you, he's holding it out at like 90 degrees. He's holding it up in his hand like he's going to take a drink, right? He's like, the absolute weight does not matter of this glass. It depends on how long I hold this glass for. That's how, the weight will get heavier with time, right? So if I pick it up and I take a drink of it and I set it back down, the glass was not very heavy. It was very, whatever. Now, if I pick the glass up and I hold it for an hour, my arm's going to start to get tired, right? It's going to start to burn a little bit, and it's not going to be, it's going to be heavier than it was, right? Or whatever. Now, if I hold the glass all day long, my arm is going to be numb. I'm going to feel paralyzed, and it's going to, obviously, again, the weight of it is more bearing. It is harder on the body. And his message here was there's so many things in life that we hold on to, that we are giving time and effort to, that like do not need, this is relating to stress and anxiety, right? Like these little minor things that we let ruin our entire day because we're so annoyed by this, or we're so ticked off about that. Like, if you hold on to things for a very long time, if you aren't doing a good job of processing and letting these things go, you're setting yourself up to be more stressed, to have more anxiety. And I'm not saying that it's easy to let things go, but it's something you have to practice. It's something you have to be willing to work on and accept and understand. You know what, Colton, why am I still worried about this? Why am I still hanging on to this, right? Like, we have to move on quicker. We have to set the glass down. We have to let the anxiety, the stress off our shoulders, right? Like, we have to, and again, I'm saying it's easier said than done. But just think about the weight of that glass, and the longer you hold it, the more it adds to your plate, the more it adds to your stress, right? The more weight on your shoulders. So I thought that was kind of an interesting concept. The longer you hold on to things, the longer, it affects you, right? So that's kind of my thought here. I want you to, it's all about self-reflection and looking inwards and understanding your strong suits and your weak points and what you need to be better at. And, they always say the first step is admitting, right? The first step is coming to the realization that, okay, like I do that that often, right? So look at yourself, understand what you could do better at the end of each night, write down those wins, write down the things you did good at, start reframing that mindset as a positive, not a negative, at the end of each day. What went well today? What was why was my day a success? I got my workout in. I got my steps in. I had a good conversation with my boss. That conversation I've wanted to have for the last 3 months, I finally did it today. Like, I called my mom. I haven't talked to her in a while. I, apologized when I did something wrong because I'm usually not good at apologizing, right? I admitted this or that. So it's just these kinds of things that the little wins, when you start reframing your mindset to, oh, this is why today was good, you're going to start building that positive daily, those habits, that mindset, and I think that's so important because a lot of us out there, we do struggle with that kind of stuff. We do hold on to things too long. We come home from work and we only want to talk about the bad, that one thing, the drama. Oh my gosh, this one person did this one thing and I can't believe they did that. And that's fine. Everybody loves drama. They make great movies, right? They make everybody's interested. They want to hear what's going on. They want to hear the tea, right? But let's enjoy the day. Let's enjoy every second that we can, and let's be the best that we can be. So that is my message for you today. The uncontrollable curveball. The how do I handle life? How do I accept that there might be things that go on today that I was not anticipating? Like I said, I did not think of that I would be picking up some soggy ass white bread, or separating people's napkins and touching syrup and all the things you don't think about when you're clearing plates. But hey, it was what it was, and it was actually the most enjoyable part of my day because I was willing to accept it, and I was willing to say it could have been worse, and I'm happy to at least even be in the situation, and I'm helping in some sort of capacity. So anyways, I appreciate you guys for listening. I appreciate every single one of you. Like I said, help me share these messages if you get any value from them, if you enjoy them, if something makes you laugh. Dude, just send it to somebody and say, hey, listen from minute 9 to minute 12. It's a good little message in there. Don't listen to the whole thing if you don't want to, but help spread the word, help spread the love, help get us some listeners here. So appreciate you guys so much. If you want to add me on Instagram, Colton Craven Burt. If you want to add me on Snapchat, Colton.Burt, Colton, Burt. If you want to email us, you can email Garrett, Garrett, at fitnessgrizzly.com. If you got a podcast idea, if you got some more information that you want me to touch base on, if you got somebody you want me to interview, talk about their fitness journey, talk about their business journey, talk about their, whatever it is, feel free to shoot us an email and give me some insight. Appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful Thursday. Have a wonderful weekend. Go be the best you can be. Just 1% better each and every day. Thank you guys so much.